Hello, and welcome to Atomic Radio Hour, the show that dives into the wreckage that is post-apocalyptia. I am your host, Vince, and I am also here with...
your vault-dwelling host, Declan.
And we also have a guest with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Sure. My name is Daniel Trout. And I directed a fan film called Fallout. A fan film called Vault 45.
You also wrote it and produced it, right?
Correct. Yes, I also wrote it and produced.
Cool. How have you guys been?
Good.
I've been
Oh, sorry.
really good. I'm having a really great day, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Sure. Like, I woke up and I was, like, actually well-rested for once.
Really? I thought that was
Yeah.
a myth.
I thought it was a myth, too, and I got up and, like, I just felt great.
Cool.
Yeah,
How about
I
you?
had a really good day.
How about you, Dan?
Not bad. It's the day after the big holiday, so it's kind of like a drag going back to work. So you're kind of just like, oh my gosh.
I know what you mean.
I can't believe I gotta go back to work.
Cool. Well, just to jump right on into it, I have 23 questions, just rapid-fire questions that
You
I'm
have
going to ask.
23 questions? I only
23.
have 7.
Well, this isn't even about the film.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
We will talk about the film. We will talk about the film momentarily. This is just to get everybody acquainted in the room and listen.
Oh, the icebreaker questions. I got you.
Yes. So there's just 23. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. We don't have to spend any longer on the question than you want to. All right?
Okay.
First question. What is your name?
Daniel,
How old are you?
35,
What's your shoe size?
12 and a half, wide.
Top 5 movies of all time.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Man, top 5. I guess I would go Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, Star Wars.
Which one?
Ooh.
Valid.
I'm sorry?
No, I was saying, Declan, that's a valid question.
Oh, which
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
I definitely go with the original trilogy. Obviously, New
Okay.
Hope. That was always my favorites. The other two. I guess I'd go Godfather.
Okay.
Okay.
Fifth one. That's tough. I love too many movies to go in a top 5. I'm trying to think. Jaws. I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan, so
Yeah.
I guess I'd give 2 in there.
Jaws is really good. Every once in a while it's on TV and I'll wind up watching like 45 minutes of it and I'm like, this is so good, and I always forget how good Jaws is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jaws is just a solid movie.
Yeah. Autobots versus Decepticons, who's cooler and why?
Autobots.
Really? Why?
Because they're the good guys.
Okay.
I don't know. I just always like the Autobots. You got Optimus Prime, you're a truck that can transform. I mean, that's...
Valid. What is your earliest memory?
I was 3 years old. I went to Disney World.
What's your favorite power armor?
Let's see here. What game?
All of them. Any game.
Oh, okay. I mean, the T-51, obviously, we put that in the movie, so I'm kind of a fan of that one.
Okay. Do you still write in cursive?
Oh, I actually can't write in cursive. I actually got an award when I was a kid of the worst cursive handwriting.
That's pretty
awesome.
good.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your middle initial?
A.
Your favorite color?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, not your favorite color. Your favorite cereal. I'm an idiot.
Oh, favorite cereal.
Yeah.
Lucky Charms.
Okay. Favorite Pokemon?
I guess I'll go original Pikachu.
Okay. Top 5 albums of all time?
Oh, man. Top 5 albums.
The movies and the music are always the hard ones.
Yeah, because I love so much stuff. I mean, it's hard for me to say like a top 5. Let's see here. I'm drawing a blank, guys. I don't know. Top 5 albums. I mean,
Just throw anything, any 5 that you really just enjoy or what you've been listening to lately.
Lately, I've been listening to a lot of the Atomic, like the Fallout music. So I've been liking a lot of that kind of stuff. Trying to get myself into a mood to write some more stuff.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, it's always good stuff. I just can't think of anything that I'm really listening to right now. Obviously, I like different things like now, like Run the Jewels, things like that.
Okay, work.
I got some different types of music I like. I like old school stuff too. I like like Led Zeppelin. I like Man, I just can't think of albums. That's such a
It's all
hard
good.
thing. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. What's your favorite word?
Favorite word. Unbelievable.
What's your least favorite word?
No.
Okay. Why don't they ever want to talk about it?
Because people don't always have to know.
Okay.
Wow.
What's your,
That was a good answer to that one.
Yeah. What's your favorite vault and why?
Oh, my favorite vault.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 71 with the puppets? I don't remember. Is that 71 with the puppets? The guy that was trapped in there with the puppets?
I forget. I can actually look that up.
Could you, Declan? Because I'm drawing a blank
Yeah.
as well, but I think it's 70-something.
I think it's 70 something, but I just, that whole idea of somebody being locked into a room with
77.
77. Yeah, 77. That whole idea of just being locked into a room with puppets just is very intriguing.
It's a weird one. It's a creepy one.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite book or a top 5 books?
Top 5. Obviously, I like Jurassic Park, the book. I like that a lot. Any of the Michael Crichton stuff. I liked It too, actually. Those are probably some of my top
King,
favorites.
good stuff.
Was it Time Machine? That was another one that I liked a lot when I was a kid. Wrinkle in Time, all those kind of things were all good ones when I was a kid. I really like those books.
That just got a movie adaptation recently, and as I was watching the trailer, I was like, I don't remember any of this happening in the book. And I remember reading that book.
I heard it's not good.
I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you if it's just like the book or anything. But no, I haven't seen it either. But yeah, the book was amazing, and I think
Yeah, I
they're
remember
making another
really
one.
liking the book.
Oprah's in the movie.
Is she giving people bees?
I don't know. I don't know. She's just there. What do you want to see change?
The world
Is cereal a soup?
depends on the cereal.
Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on the questions, but I need to know the explanation for that one.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the cereal, right? Like if it's a really runny cereal, right, then it could be more soupy, right?
What constitutes a runny cereal?
Yeah.
But like Cocoa Puffs, right? That's gonna turn it chocolatey, right? The milk, right? So that's kind of more soup-like, right?
Okay,
Alright.
what's Captain Crunch?
Soup-like. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean,
Soup
berries.
adjacent.
Is it berries? Is it the berry kind? I mean, it could be. I don't know.
Alrighty. Lemonade or iced tea?
Oh, I'm an iced tea. I'm from the South.
Okay.
Arnold Palmer myself.
What simple joy makes you the most happy?
Simple joy.
Something small, not anything massive.
Honestly, a good glass of iced tea. Honestly,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Solid.
my final question for you is, what did your grandmother's house smell like?
Grandmother's house smell like. Which one? Because you got two grandmas, right?
You can
get to
pick.
pick.
I get to pick. Ooh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really can't remember the smell. I remember it just had like an old smell. I don't know how to explain it anyways as a kid. Like I just can't. You can't picture that smell anywhere else. It had like
Yeah, it's almost a trick question. How do you describe it?
yeah, it's like it was like that old. My grandmother had this old like leather, like fake leather couch. I remember it smelling like that, like all the furniture, that plastic, the type of plasticky type feel. I do remember that.
Cool. Those are my 23 intro questions.
Now I feel like we're best friends here.
With that being said, though, Daniel here with us today, like he said, is the writer, director, and producer of the Fallout fan film Vault 45. Your film company, I guess it would be called as Broken Warning Films, correct?
Yeah, Broken Warning Productions. Yeah.
Cool. For those who haven't seen it or want to see it or going to see it, how would you describe the movie in a paragraph?
Before we jump into it,
okay.
I'm going to pop a little card in the doobly-doo up in the top right of the video for people to go check out the movie.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Check that out. I'm pointing to a direction that it's probably wrong.
Yep,
would
either
say-
that way or that way. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, go check it out. But before you check it out, from the man himself who wrote it, how would you describe it in about a paragraph?
Ooh, a paragraph.
It could be shorter, it could be longer. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like a general like 4
Like
sentences.
if you were explaining it to like a friend of a friend, how would you explain it?
One man in charge of keeping America safe has to ensure that the nuclear missiles do not go off, but one day something happens, and it changes his life forever.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's very like back of the DVD. Like it really leaves it open for you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. So, I'm just gonna jump right into my first question of where did you come up with the idea for this exactly?
It was really weird. It was actually right before Fallout 76 came out, and I was actually going into surgery for another procedure, and I had a lot of time to kill. You know, you're sitting there by yourself thinking, and I was like, and I'm looking at my shelf, and I have all this Fallout stuff, and I'm like, man, you know, I could really like probably do like a Fallout film. And I was like, I don't want to go over the top. I don't want to go crazy with it. And then I just kind of started thinking about it. And I'm like, you know, most of these fan films never take place inside the vault. They always take place outside the vault, like in the post-apocalyptic world, because it's easier. It's easier to do, and plus it's more interesting a lot of times. So I was just thinking about it, and I was like, then as I kind of kept thinking about it more, I was like, man, what would happen if somebody was just kind of stuck in a vault, just by himself, and he thinks he's got to do this, enter this code every day. A fun fact here, actually, my original idea, and we actually did have this almost happening. We were going to have a life-sized Fallout terminal actually working,
Whoa!
Wow.
That would've been awesome.
and he was going to type the code in every day, and then we'd have like the thing go through. But it just kind of didn't work out. The person who was going to make the prop ended up having problems, and it just wasn't happening. So we kind of went months and months of waiting on the prop, and it just didn't work. So then I found that little. It was actually that switcher thing is actually just like this thing you can buy on ThinkGeek. It's,
Really?
Yeah, it's just it was like they call it Nuclear Doomsday, and I just thought it was interesting. I was like, you have to do this one, you have to flip the switch, and if you don't do it right, it won't light up. So I was like, oh, it'd be really interesting if he has to sit there and hit the different codes every day, and then how that would drag on somebody. But yeah,
It's like the monotonous action of doing it over and over again.
yeah, just being stuck in this vault for forever and having to do the same thing every day at a certain time.
That's funny that you actually brought that up because one of my questions for you is how did you make the little switcher piece?
Oh yeah, well it was actually it's something you can buy on ThinkGeek. It's I think it's like Doomsday USB or something like that.
I think ThinkGeek went out of business.
Oh, that's right. They're GameStop now, right?
Yeah, they were acquired by
Yeah.
GameStop.
Well, I think they were owned by GameStop for a while, but I think they were just like,
They're getting fully absorbed now.
yeah.
So like you can probably still get all that merch, but you'll just have to get it off GameStop.
Yeah. I think
Speaking of stuff, I do have a question.
Sure.
Are all those props yours personally?
A lot of them are. A lot of those props are mine.
Because it's a pretty
personally.
impressive collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
It rivals Vince here.
Yeah. No, we had a lot of stuff. A lot of the other guys too, like Jeffrey Crisp, who was an executive producer. He had a lot of props too, and some of those props actually came from an antique store as well. A lot of that stuff, like the lamp that you saw,
Mm-hmm.
the TV we bought secondhand. We actually made that's an actual working TV. Like that, we actually put the Please Stand By and all that. We actually rigged that up
Really?
to go through there.
Oh,
Yeah, so a
that
lot of
wasn't green screen?
some of it was, but the Please Stand By was actually done in real. We actually had a Mac hooked up, and we ran the cord, and we did like a old like RF switcher, in the back, turned it to channel 3,
Cool.
and made it black and white.
That's so cool.
I did notice in some shots that you could see that it was glowing
Mm-hmm.
onto him. But I was going to ask, did you hook up like a DVD player and just kind of like record what you needed? But cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
some
cool,
shots
cool.
the lamp was on, and sometimes it didn't. There was an old lamp next to it. That was
Mhm.
we found it at an antique store. Where we shot this actually is in Lakeland, Florida,
Okay.
and there's a lot of antique shops around there. So we were able to go in there and borrow a lot of stuff. So it was kind of nice.
Cool.
That's cool.
One of the small details that I noticed that I don't know if anybody else picked up on, Did you make the pillowcase the nylon bag?
I wondered if anyone was actually going to notice that. Yes, that is
I didn't
the
notice.
infamous nylon bag from
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
The duffel kerfuffle, as we like to call it.
I saw that today. I was watching it again today, and I went, and like I stopped everything, and I went no, and I went back like 5 seconds, and I'm watching that, and I went, this absolute madman, he did it, like he made the bag, and I'm sitting there going like, that's just like something about that is just such a I don't want to say it's a beautiful irony, but just like
It's poetic.
yeah, yes, very much so. Fucking
Yeah.
bag. Did you
I
get a
didn't
canvas
notice that.
one?
I'm sorry? I did get
you
the
get a-
canvas one. Yeah, it just came last week, actually. It's nice. I actually really like it.
It's the same thing.
It's just plastic. It's not plastic. It's canvas.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it either. It was just like a bag. They wrapped it up and like threw it at you. It was basically like they didn't like. Here's a little note. Sorry for the inconvenience or anything.
Not a sticker.
Nope.
Not a little like a picture of Todd like pleading. Nothing. I wanted like just a little fanfare. How did you make this suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, the suit. Okay, so that was handmade. We used Tiffany Gans, which is our costume designer.
Mhm.
She designed that whole thing, actually, the suit, and it was actually, I think it's like a post office like outfit or something, like a workman's thing, and then
Okay.
she put in the numbers, sewed them on the back, all that kind of stuff.
I've always wanted to make my own vault suit, because then all I have to do is buy a leather jacket and I'm a tunnel snake. So every Halloween party and every convention I ever go to is taken care of.
Tunnel snakes do rule. It's a
It's-
scientific
yeah.
fact.
Yeah, scientifically proven.
I've got a question.
Yeah, sure.
So, I noticed that the calendar was dated for 1950. Was that intentional?
It was intentional, and I will talk about that. I've had so many questions about that. Like, why does it say 1950? But if you pay attention at the end of the film, if you look at the date on the check, it will show you the actual date.
Oh.
Really?
Yep, the date on
What-
the check.
What year does the calendar say at the end of the movie?
I think it's 1953. I think he's been there for 3 years. He thinks he's
Okay.
been there for 3 years. Yeah.
Damn, Declan, you beat me to that one too.
Yeah, I've only got a couple questions, so I want to make them count, because I know you probably, like, scoured the entire video for questions.
We also had a better shot of the Pip-Boy with the actual date on the Pip-Boy, but we ended up cutting it just for time. It just was too hard to. We had this whole thing of him. A good thing about this too is Mr. Handy was not originally going to be in this. We were going to have the Pip-Boy play the audio, and Dave Main, who's the guy who was our cinematographer and also our editor, he's like, "Oh, I can make a Mr. Handy," and I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I could just put him in right there. I'll fly around and everything." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And he did it. Yeah, he made that whole thing himself. That wasn't something that he got from somewhere else. He made all
I
that.
thought that was
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Who voiced Mr. Handy?
Mr. Handy was, I believe his name is Kyoki Task. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name, man. I'm sorry. His birthday was just yesterday, I believe. And he's a pretty popular voiceover artist. He's done stuff for Disney and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't do a half bad job.
No,
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And we were like, can you do Mr. Handy? And he was like, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. And I was like, okay. And he did it. I was like, that's amazing, dude. That's awesome. And he was like,
Yeah, it was, like,
"Oh."
pretty spot on.
He was going to do a Mr. Gutsy at first. And I was like, okay, whatever you can do. If you could do something, that'd be cool. And I was like, no, man, that's perfect. That's awesome.
Cool. So how long did it take? Do you know how long it took him to build that like 3D model?
Oh, it took weeks. I mean, he went through weeks. And the part of his problem with too was, so we shot, for people who don't know video production, we shot in 4K Red Raw, which is a type of cinema like quality. Like they shot The Hobbit on Red, Social Network, things like that. So we shot
Social
in 4K.
Network was shot like that.
On Red. Yeah, it was shot on
Really?
a Red 1. Yeah.
Red cameras are, like, an industry standard.
Yeah. There's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Hobbit.
Yeah, but that makes sense to me. The fucking Silicon Valley Jesse Eisenberg running around with the Dusseldorf twins doesn't sound like a movie that needs to be, to me at least.
Yeah. Well, that was what Fincher. So he does all that with like Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He's a big red guy. They use all red cameras for all this stuff. So I think that's why. But yeah, it's kind of overkill for a lot of stuff. But they use them mostly for special effects. But anyways, what I was trying to say was...
Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's the red... It's a 4K file, so he's got to try to now put this robot inside this 4K file. And then go frame by frame, putting in the shadows and the flames and everything else. It took a couple weeks just to do that part.
Oh my god.
Definitely an intense thing to do.
Good thing he didn't have to. Good thing he didn't have to animate a mouth.
Yeah, that would have been even worse if you had to do something
God.
like that. Yeah, that would have been pretty difficult.
The music, I really enjoyed the music in it. There's the one space, the Man in the Moon, I think it's called, the official track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where do you find all of your music? Because we're always looking for different music, and every time we try to use something, they're like, "Oh, copyright," or "Hey, you don't own this," or "Hey, fair use doesn't exist on YouTube anymore." So like,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, how did you find something that was usable? Because that song, that Man on the Moon one, I know was like used in Ren and Stimpy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I love all of the Ren and Stimpy production music. But, like, you can use it, but you can't.
It depends on the recording. So if the recording is public domain, then you're allowed to use it. It just depends on that recording. So what I did when I was writing this, actually, was I was looking for songs that I could use that were public domain, and then I could base it off of that. So I had a couple different songs that I was going to do, and then I just decided just to stick with that one song because I thought it worked well for that scene. There was a couple other songs that I wanted to use that were public domain, but I just looked for mostly public domain. And even the song in the beginning, or the Fallout, that was, I believe, from like Atomic Cafe. They used that for that movie called Atomic Cafe, but that's all public domain too. That stuff in the beginning, yeah.
Cool. No, it was just something that, like, I noticed right away. When I hear that, it sticks out to me. And, like I said, I enjoy it. I always want to use it, but I never can. But the song, there's a jazz song that starts to play, like a jazz-y song, later on, and you play the special videos and the vault speech over and over again. When you were writing that part, did you write it that it would be somewhat of a montage?
I did. I actually did write it like that. Yeah, that it would be a montage, which actually is it sounds easy when you write it, but it's very difficult to shoot.
Really?
Because you got to think about it. So we shot this all. Another thing that was pretty impressive with this, we had it pretty well planned. We shot this whole entire thing in a day.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we had the locations pretty much set. Where he comes outside the vault, that was in a place called Lake Mere, and we're in Florida, so we don't really have stuff that looks like a vault most of the time. So that was the closest thing that we could find that looked like a vault when he comes out. Had this really impressive, kind of architecture outside. And then we built the vault actually inside an abandoned warehouse that was right next to it. So everything you see in there, and I haven't put any pictures of this, and I'm actually going to do it, I think, to show everybody really what we had to go through to put this together. We had to make walls, fake walls on the sides to kind of finish off the vault.
Okay. To make it seem like an enclosed space.
Yeah, to seem like an enclosed space. And then we had to, we brought a door in, but we never really showed that door because I didn't really like how it looked. It was a metal door, but it didn't really look vaulty. So I never really showed the door on the side. But it's an abandoned... The warehouse itself is still abandoned now. I mean, there's probably, like, rats and stuff that live inside it. And like, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of it was a disgusting place when we first walked in. But it had power, and it worked like inside of a vault. So it was a perfect location.
Awesome.
Did you have to get a permit or anything to film there?
It's private property, so you don't have to get a permit. You just have permission of the person who owns the warehouse. And Jeffrey Crisp, who was the executive producer of it, he was in connection with the person who owned the building, and they were able to give us inside. And then we got a permit for the Lake Mere stuff, which we just talked to the city of Lakeland, and they were very gracious to give us that location.
Cool.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever
it's really
watched.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched. There was a really old sci-fi show called Sequest DSV.
Okay.
Really old. It was like Star Trek but with submarines,
Okay.
and it was all in the water. They shot a scene right there because they shot a lot of stuff in Florida. There was a submarine scene they shot right at that same location because there's like water right next to it.
Cool. Cool. I've actually a 2-part question for you then about Florida.
Yeah, sure.
The first part is, what was your first Fallout?
The first one I played, Fallout
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
And which ones have you played? All of them?
Yes, I played. All
Okay.
of them. Yeah.
Because there is that bit of contention within the fan base that I do and don't understand. Of, you can't be a real fan unless you played 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, they came around when I was around like Fallout 1 and 2, and I had friends that played it. I just never played it right then. Just never got to it. I don't know why. There was just something going on.
Well, that's the only, well, I personally don't. Not that you don't have to play them, but like I only ask because I always kind of want to feel how everyone else feels about the subject. Of like, who cares what your first? Like honestly, who cares what your first one was?
Yeah.
Who
As
cares
long
what
as
the
you
last
love
one
it,
was?
like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
Here's my second part of that question. You living in Florida, there most likely is a vault in Florida. Out of I can think of 3 locations instantly that I want Fallout 5 to take place in. The first one being New York, because I want to see how badly it was destroyed, and if DC was destroyed to the point that it was destroyed, I want to see what New York looks like. Also, the bombs fell earlier in DC and New York.
Mm-hmm.
I think they hit at 9:39. Everywhere else was later. I want to see Canada. I want to see Ronto. I want to see what that looks like. And my third place is Florida.
Really? Okay. Like
What do
Miami with the Fallout Miami.
Kind of.
Everglades.
I kind of want to see, like, I kind of picture the map to be like the northwest end of it is kind of getting into that like Bayou, Louisiana.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I kind of think you'd head towards like south towards Miami, and you'd get to kind of like these fast talking chem dealing ghouls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there would definitely be like an area for Florida Man to kind of hang out in.
Of course. Yeah. You got.
Yeah.
You got also like what's his name? Skunk Ape Man. That's our thing from Florida.
Skunk Ape Man,
Yeah, that's a real thing that they
like man,
like a
bear,
local
pig.
Yeah, kind of like the Mothman. That would be the
Okay.
the skunk
I
ape
love
man.
the Mothman.
Yeah,
So he's 1/2 skunk, 1/2 ape, 1/2 man.
I don't know if it's 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, but it's definitely something like that.
Cool. I never heard of Skunk Ape Man.
I'll have to look him up.
That's
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
can look it up.
consonants, I feel like.
I think he hangs in the Everglades. I think that's where he hangs out.
Cool. Well, what would you want to see out of a Fallout Florida game? Like,
Well,
if you could say like these 5 things, and I hate to say I keep putting top 5s, but if you could say like I need to see these 5 things for an authentic Floridian experience.
I would have to say you'd have to have something like a theme park, right? You got to have
Okay.
Disney World, right? You got to have something like
Yeah.
I
that.
didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Because that would be incredible. Like something that's just, it can't be Disney World, but Nuka-Cola World or something like that.
Yeah.
You could do something like that.
Nuka World 2.
Yeah. Bigger, better, something like that. Let's see here. Some people don't realize in Tampa that, like, the Ybor City, they had, like, underground tunnels that actually had a lot of stuff. And there was, like, some old, like, old hotels and stuff. That was actually the mob. It was actually run by the mob.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it was the Cigar City, the Cigar Mob. That would be kind of cool, I think, to kind of show. Obviously, gators. You got to have some kind of mutated gator.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
We
a Florida
need to have
Panther.
a mutated gator.
You have the Florida Panthers, right? You have the Florida Panther. That would be...
Panther gator.
Yeah, Panther Gator. You could have something like that. Is that 3? I'm trying to think of another one.
You don't have to give me 5. I was just saying, like,
Yeah,
I'd like to see what Cuba's doing, and
That'd
see
be-
if
Yeah,
there's
actually.
a mass immigration from Cuba to Florida.
Or other way around.
Yeah, let's say Cuba survived, right? Like then nothing hit it,
Yeah.
right? So then
Like,
They
are they
already
selling?
they already have the old cars, so that'd be perfect.
Oh wow! Imagine they still got the cars running.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why the check is made out for $45?
Because I wanted to make it a crazy amount that this guy just spent 3 months of his life, and Voltec just said, "I'm going to give you $45 and a lifetime supply of Nuka-Cola." And if you read the label of the Nuka-Cola, I think it says like limit 1 to 2 bottles per year or something like that.
That's pretty funny. I was just wondering because I did a little bit of math, and
Okay.
$45 today is equal to about 45,767 caps. So if you were to convert that, that guy would be well off.
Oh yeah.
Well, hold on. Now that makes me ask a larger question.
Well, I never thought about it that way actually.
What? And I'm looking it up now. What year is on the check? Hold on a second. I gotta find it because now I'm curious.
Because I can do the
Yeah.
I can do the inflation calculator. Ooh,
Hold on. I'm looking at it now. Ho ho! I see.
what year?
Haha! I'm not gonna ruin it.
Oh,
No way. You gotta watch it at home. I'm gonna send you a message, Declan.
okay.
We're making great radio.
Right.
Typing.
Oh, you sent it on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So think about how much a gallon of gas costs now versus how much a gallon of gas cost then.
Oh, how much? Can you send me how much a gallon of gas costs then? Because I forget.
I just
Figure
was
it out.
reading it off the wiki.
I need to do all this math.
Declan,
Yes.
ask a question while I look this up.
Sure. So was that man actually in there for 3 years? Because there's at one point where the like flippy clock flips really fast, and I'm not sure if that was to denote like, oh, we're skipping by a lot of time, or if that was literally like the clock is rigged to make it look like the time has passed. Like, what was the story with that?
So I never really pushed this in. When I wrote it, as a little differently. He does take the pills, and I don't know if you guys. I know you saw that.
Yeah.
He does take the pills. I wanted to get a little more shots of the pills because I really wanted to sell the fact that Voltec was drugging him, and that he actually has no idea of the time. So it really was only like 3 months that he was inside the vault.
Okay, so it was all deception.
Oh yeah, the whole thing. The clock was controlled.
Cool.
Everything like that.
That's what I was hoping, because I was like, is that meant to like show that time is passing, or is it meant to show that someone's screwing with the clock?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole thing is controlled by them. They're just trying to see what he does and what happens when the clock goes off. And he didn't hit the bomb, right? Or he didn't hit the code. See what happens.
Just like he just goes absolutely mad.
Yeah. And I wanted to, and we have ideas to do more, and I have other ideas to do a couple more that I would love to do, and we have some ideas that we're gonna try to do for some other sides of the vaults.
Cool.
I kind of want to do something a little more different than the typical, like the other fan films have done, like a series, like it's all interplacing. It kind of goes after different ones, but I would love to do one where kind of like a Black Mirror style. And,
Okay, just like these little like exposés of life in Fallout.
right, and you have so many vaults to choose from, and
Oh, absolutely.
and each
I'd love to see a little movie about the about Vault 77.
yeah, that was the puppet one, right? That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, that was.
I'd love to see that.
It'd be interesting to see, and I have a couple connections on some puppets, so it could be interesting. Yeah,
Maybe a
like some
sequel.
old school puppets that
Like Muppet puppets?
yeah, that look pretty cool. Yeah,
Ooh.
I have
Yeah.
such a soft spot in my heart for Muppets.
yeah. We have some really good voice actors too, so I think we have some good talent here in Florida too that could really pull that off too. I think.
That's awesome. All right. Do we have the numbers, Vince?
I'm looking for it because I was reading the timeline because I was bored, and that's what I do for fun. And I know it's the 2050s. It's right around when the UN collapses. Oh my god. Why can't I find it? I don't think it's the 70s. Maybe it's 2070. Declan, what year does the UN collapse?
I don't know. You're the better Fallout fan.
To the wiki.
I don't know. Oh, sorry?
To the wiki.
I'm on
Yes,
it. I'm
to
on
the
it right
wiki.
now.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
Did we ever
find
talk
it.
about why the thing was 1950? Was that all part of the deception?
Yeah, so, yeah, it was part of the deception. I want to talk about that further in a different film. But yeah, I chose that date on purpose. There was a reason for that.
Cool.
I kind of left it open, and I wanted to see how many people I would actually get to comment on it. And was surprised at how many people have commented on that.
Because, like, it had to be, like, intentional. And I figured that because if you were just going to go out to, like, Walmart and get a calendar, it's going to say 2019.
Right.
So,
yeah.
or, like, 2020 at this point.
Where did you find that calendar? Did you get it off Etsy?
It was off of Etsy. It was.
I was going to buy it from the
Fallout.
same seller.
And I actually contacted the seller, and he actually custom made those dates for me.
Really?
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I'm drawing a blank on who it was, but he actually gave me an extra kind of like pull sheet. So if we went through the times, we could have another one to use. I thought that was
that's
really
cool.
nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let me see what I have here for my questions as I shake my camera around like an imbecile.
No shit.
Okay. Before we started recording, we were talking about how we collect plastic to sit on shelves and collect dust. And I saw in the video, because it's a main prop, but also because it was like, oh, that looks familiar. In the beginning of it, it pans by all the stuff, and it shows the Pip-Boy kit where you build it.
Mm-hmm.
How awful is that kit?
To put it together, it took a long
It's the
time.
worst kit.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the every once in a while I get this urge that I need to build stuff. Like lately I've been kind of feeling it, and I'm like, oh, I should buy a Gundam kit. I should buy a Gundam and build a set.
Ooh,
and like
Gundam.
I have all these Lego sets that every once in a while I'm just like, I need to build something. I was feeling it, and I was feeling it hardcore, and I bought the Pip-Boy, the 2000, and I was like, I can't wait to put this together. And then I went to put, I was like, it's going to take me an hour, maybe 3 at most. And it took me 4 days, and half of the parts broke. And I got big, meaty claws. I can't be putting in small springs into little holes that have another piece that goes on top of it and clickety-clickety-clack. It has real feedback. That's awesome. It's made out of metal and what I would assume where plastic would be and where metal would be. And there's a plate on it, and it's got the original logo for the Pip-Boy. Like, I love all that stuff. It's all
The math is in. I don't mean to interrupt.
it's
But
beautiful.
I do mean to interrupt.
All right, hold on a second. I just
Okay.
want to hear from somebody else how awful this set is.
The numbers
I
have
haven't
come
even
in.
seen it.
The numbers
Sorry?
have come in. Oh, I was saying the numbers have come in. You were saying the numbers. He finished
Oh,
the
no.
math.
Finish your thought about the kit.
About the kit. Yeah, no, it was really difficult. Like, it was more difficult than I had thought, like, when putting it together. I mean, they did a really good job of putting it together in that box. All that stuff was really good, but like
Yeah.
the parts they gave you to put it together was not a good idea. Like, you had to use other tools. There's just no way.
Yeah,
the
and I
stuff was way
tried
too
using
small.
the stuff they gave because it's a Voltec screwdriver. Like, of course I want to use that. But like, oh my god! And what bothers me is they made the helmet, and the helmet's great. They made a bunch of other stuff, but like that kit is just such a. And now you can buy it already pre-built. So enough people
Yeah.
probably complained about how awful it is.
Yeah, no, I would definitely would have got it probably pre-built if I could. And now it lights up too. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
the thing that lights
Yeah.
up.
And you could
stuff.
add the FM transmitter in there too.
Which is crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And now you could buy it painted too. Like, I just whatever. So what's the numbers, Declan?
All right. So, according to some gracious people on some forums, including inflation, a gallon of gas in the Fallout universe is about $8,500 of modern money.
Yes.
Nice.
So, if I do some math for what the current price of gas is, and convert that with ratios and shit, $45 in Fallout time is about 2 pennies.
Wait, really?
Yep.
You... Holy shit. What did you use to find that out?
I'd use a ratio calculator. Because I put 8,500 over 4, because like $4 is like a gallon of gas. Like
Where is it $4?
I was giving it extra room to breathe.
It's like $2.80. You're giving me fucking palpitations over here saying that gas is $4 a gallon.
All right, I'll put in 280 and see how much that changes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, actually, you're right. $45 is only worth 1 penny.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, considering that gas is currently like 280-ish, depending on your state, yeah, and setting that equal to 45, we get, with the magic of multiplication and shit, 0.0148 is how much $45 is worth.
Wow.
So Vault-Tec literally gave that man a penny.
Paying too much.
Yeah. See, I would like to see what happens to him mentally afterwards.
Oh, he just breaks.
Like, can he go back to... Because I didn't take the drug thing as much. I just... Like, I have written down in my notes exactly... monotony, the mundane, and repetition.
Right.
Said, where did this idea come from, having the same thing pounded into your head day in and day out? I took it more as that, as this is a brainwashing. Your purpose is... It's kind of like the McDonald's philosophy. When they started making bigger and bigger restaurants, everybody had one job. So I kind of took it as, this is your job. You do one job all day long, and then you are done with your job. And
You're butter robot.
Yeah. You're a robot with a heartbeat.
Right.
And I would like to see that explored afterwards. Like, can he go back to his family? Or did he have a family? Or is he having, like, Vietnam flashbacks about waking up at 3 o'clock every day?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just, I mean...
No, that's a good idea.
That's an interesting thing to think about.
I had another idea where the guy basically he just goes from one vault to the next, like Vault-Tec experiment, and doesn't realize it. He doesn't realize that he keeps getting put into a Vault-Tec experiment. Like every time he shows up to a thing, and it's like he's sitting there at the at the interview, and like, oh yeah, it's perfect, a great job, and he goes there, and then he like all of a sudden he wakes up and he flashes back. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm here again. He's got like the whole suit again.
That's
and it's just like continues to keep getting in and out, but he somehow continues to come right back to the same experiment.
That's
that
awesome.
would be kind of funny.
Ooh, I've got a question. How did you arrive at 45 for your vault number?
I did a lot of research on different vaults and stuff that I couldn't find any information on, and then I just kind of went to vaults that haven't been done, or at least from an official standpoint. And then I said, oh, well, 45 sounds kind of cool, like Colt 45, and then I was like, oh, let's do 45.
45 is one of those numbers that is just like a really nice number. It's a multiple of 5. It's consecutive.
Yeah, no, it was a good number. Yeah, I mean that was the only reason I did a lot of research on the different vaults that have been used, and I think when they did like the Nuka, was that Fallout 76? They did the what's called Nuclear Winter, and it's 51. I was like, I'm just waiting for that day that, oh, we decided to do 45. Like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings me to another question. Does Bethesda know this film exists?
I don't know. I hope they do. I felt like I've tried to market at them to see if they could give some feedback.
Because Todd says he reads all the comments.
I haven't heard it. I haven't got anything from Bethesda. I mean, they're pretty cool. I mean, they have an open thing on their website that says they accept fan films. Like, they don't go after fan films or anything like that.
That's awesome.
I think they're very fair about that kind of stuff, about user-generated content.
Well, if you're going to pour time, love, and money into something...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would love for them to acknowledge it. That'd be awesome. I would love to hear from somebody... I mean,
we would love to have Senpai Todd notice us, too.
Yes, please. Please, Todd, if you were listening.
I think... Sorry?
No, I was gonna say I did have. I started tweeting at, or we all started tweeting at different people to try to get people to see it. And I actually did have the lady who wrote the Fallout cookbook. She saw it and actually said, "Oh, this is really good."
Oh, Rosenthal.
Yeah,
Really?
I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." Like I got her to like respond back, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
We have something we'd like to show her.
Just tweet at her. She'll probably see it and probably go, "Wow, that's amazing." She'll probably love that.
I will do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been trying to tweet Pete Hines for over a year, and we have gotten nothing out of it.
That was during his media blackout.
Yeah.
He was MIA.
Oh, okay.
No, it started when he wasn't.
Yeah, it started when he was still around, and then he
Yeah.
got, like, dragged into a basement until E3.
Yeah. That silver shroud card that you have in the film.
Yeah.
Where did you make that, or did you find it? Was it
That was
another
really
Etsy thing?
I believe that was actually the same seller, the same Fallout seller.
Really?
He threw it in, I believe. Actually, he gave me that and like with a Voltec letter and.
Really?
Yeah, I wish
What
I.
a
That was
guy.
a good haul then.
I'm gonna see if I can find. If you guys can post it, that'd be awesome for him because he
Yeah.
did a really good job. I just don't remember his name off the top of my head. But I think it's like Fallout props or something like that on Etsy. But he's got amazing stuff. He's got like even the caps. He did like the Nuka caps and stuff too.
Really?
Yeah, if you let us know what the store is, we'll be happy to link it in the description.
Yeah. I'll send it to you guys. I just don't remember the name of the store. On
Is it
Etsy,
Scruffy?
but- Scruffy?
Scruffy Nerf Herder?
Scruffy Nerf Herder? Or is it Star
Yeah.
Wars?
Well, there's a guy on Etsy that I almost bought a it was a Fallout 3 Pip-Boy kit that it was a 3D no, it wasn't a 3D model. It was a resin cast that when you bought it, you bought this whole thing that came with it that you had to solder in the lights and it would light up and it would change and it was like a little mini screen, or you'd made it where you put your iPhone in it or something. And his name was Scruffy Nerf Herder, and I remember emailing him back and forth. I must have been like 13 or 14. And I was like, hey, I really want to buy one, but they're like $70, $80, and when you're that young, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to solder. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. I never wound up buying one, but he was making props. And he's one of like the original prop maker people that I remember.
I looked it up. It's actually Handmade Fallout is the Etsy seller.
What is it, one more time?
Handmade Fallout. If you look up Fallout calendar, you should.
Handmade Fallout.
He also
Technically,
did.
we put a...
He also did these really cool. If you saw the magazines too,
Oh,
I
really?
believe that was him too. I did like the Guns and Bullets and the Awesome
Yeah.
magazine and stuff.
I thought those magazines were really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool touch that he had to watch. I had to have this inside the vault. So
Declan, can you put a picture up of that? Of like
Of
his
the
Etsy
magazine
page?
or of the Etsy page?
Of his Etsy page.
Sure.
There it is.
Boom.
What's your favorite special stat?
ooh, that's a good one. I think I asked that. I think you'd have to go with luck. I really do. I think luck's a good one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just like the idea of like having the being chance. I guess the game of
Yeah.
chance. I don't know. It's
Fates dictate
Yeah.
your course.
I liked
Cool.
how we did it in our and the idea of the whole special thing too. That was where we put that in. That wasn't originally going to be done with the whole like the special in our fan film where we had the here's charisma and here's they just happened to tie together. And Larry, the main actor, Larry Berkovey, he's a comedian. He's an improv guy. So that whole thing with him and the button, that was all made up. He did that whole thing, and it was pretty funny with him kind of talking to the button and all that kind of stuff, and it was just kind of funny.
That's cool. What is... I don't know why I didn't ask this sooner, but what is your background with film? Did you go to school for it, or were you just a kid that always had the camera?
I did actually go to school. I went to the University of Tampa. I went to the film program, and I do short films and feature films and things like that here in the area.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually mostly do cinematography. That's actually my background. So I've
What
never
exactly
really
does
directed.
that mean?
Cinematography?
Yeah.
Basically, the guy behind the camera, you control like what everyone sees, right? So the director will give you a vision and he'll say, I really want to do this, and you have to try to make that possible with the camera. You know, you create that world inside what he's looking for, basically.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought that was the director's job. I never understood that.
Well, it depends on the relationship, right? Like, I've worked with many different directors that will tell you different things, right? Like, I've had directors that will give me an entire shot list and storyboard and everything out. They already have their ideas. It's also very different in different countries, too. Like, in the U.S., like, usually the cinematographer will handle, like, the lights and, you know, just instruct, like, how to do the lighting and stuff like that. And do the camera stuff, but like in different countries, like in the UK, he's only the camera, and the gaffer controls the lighting and everything like that. You know, he sets the lighting design and all that stuff. It's a little different,
Actually,
little film knowledge.
Yeah, a little bit behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Why is it different in England?
I don't know. I actually don't know why that is. I don't know what set that up or what caused that, but it's just a little different over there.
Probably just natural progression of how the industry, like, happened to develop in local settings.
Yeah.
You have the poster in there that says "Surface Never, Vault Forever."
Oh, the
Is
Vault,
that
the Vault Dweller, the Vault poster? Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you find that poster?
Ooh, that's a good question. I believe it was on Amazon. I believe I found that poster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's not a very little known, not a known store called Amazon. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Is that like this new indie thing?
Yeah, it's a new indie thing. All the kids are talking about it right now. No, I was really surprised that it was on Amazon. Honestly, I didn't think it would be on there, but I was looking for. I needed another prop, and I bought something from some other person for the film. It didn't come in time, so I was like, oh, let me see what's on Amazon. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Is that like an official piece of Fallout 3 merchandise?
I don't know if it's official. I don't think it is. I don't think it was like a Bethesda stamped on the bottom, you know? I think it was just somebody selling it.
Because Surface Never, Vault Forever, I've seen that logo so many times, but I don't ever remember seeing it in any of the games. And I think it kind of... I thought it was
I thought it was in 101.
See, I don't think it was.
Because it was never supposed to open.
No, I know, but I would never think that they would have...
Right.
Like, a catchphrase like that. Like, when you look at what 101 is, and all its, like, campy stuff, like, that looks like it's too forced. Like, it doesn't seem like it's like... looks like it's store brand versus the real thing. And I see it on so many different things, and I'm just like, I don't think this was ever used in any sort of... Like, I don't know about you, but every time I see a Vault Boy with a bottle of Nuka-Cola, I'm like, that never happened.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see it, I'm just like, I see people get tattoos of it. I'm like, why?
Oh, yeah.
You don't even... Why?
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things that, like, every time I see it, I'm always like, when the fuck did this happen?
I need receipts.
Yeah.
Which is something so stupid that I cared that much about it, but it was just like, I would look at it and be like, I don't remember this ever popping up. I don't remember this ever being a thing.
I think it's on that coin, too, on that limited edition coin. Is it?
I think you're right, yeah.
I think it's on that coin. Not too sure, but I think it is.
I've got a question. About how long was the production of the film?
You
said you shot all in one day.
It was all shot in one day. We shot it all in one day. All that stuff. It was pretty much, we started from about 7 in the morning. We went all the way until about 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a long day for that. And then also, we went there the weekend before and set up the vault itself. So we did a good job of getting that. I mean, if we would have had to done that all in the same day, there's no way we could have got everything.
Did you shoot the scientist scene first?
No, we shot that last,
Really?
actually. Yeah.
Is it the same room?
It is the same room. We took everything out. We put it up against the fake wall. We took all the posters down, and we put a green screen around the edge, and that's where we put all the monitors. We put that in post later on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, because I was watching that, and when I was watching it again today, I'm sitting there going, I think this is the same room. Not like in a bad way. I'm just like, I need to figure this out.
Yeah, I was hoping nobody would catch that. Like, I was hoping we would like throw it
I
off
didn't.
like on the side. Like, okay, maybe nobody will see this and nobody will pay attention to that part.
Well, I only noticed it because I was looking for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I was trying to find all, but I didn't see the check. But I was trying to see little detail. Well, also, now that I say that out loud, I didn't grow up in a generation that ever needed checks.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I know how to
true.
fill out a check.
Yeah.
Really?
Like if you put it in front of me, I could probably figure it out, but it'd take me a minute. But like I don't think I've ever had to fill out a check.
Like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
If
I mean,
ever
everything's
needed
kind of
something-
digital at this point, so
I would
you
either
rarely
use a
really
card or
need to.
cash.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, I mean, my kids will never learn cursive or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I ask.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's checks, cursive, and Social Security. Like, those things aren't going to exist in the next 10 years.
Yeah, it was easier to in the film we just did a check honestly because it was easier to print that out and find it on a site than try to make like money and all that kind of stuff.
That would have been a big pain,
Yeah.
especially for a cent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To do this whole thing and then like here you go.
Here's your penny.
Yeah.
So when can we expect more from you?
Yeah.
We're hoping to do some more. I have some ideas. I have some stuff written down. Nothing ready to announce yet. We're going to try something different, I think, for the next one. I have ideas for 4 of them that I'd like to do. Like, I think I was telling him it was like kind of like a Black Mirror style. Like, each one will be a different type of genre of film, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, each vault will be kind of like a different experiment with different stuff. So, I have like a romantic comedy idea one, which is just so different for, all these different things, like that's such a different idea.
I'd like to see that. That'd be
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, just to have some kind of different ideas, to have different stuff, with the different films. And, I think it would be an interesting idea. And I've never seen anybody do it with fan films in general. Like I was saying before, like most people don't do inside vaults. It was always outside the vault. So that's why I kind of came up with the idea to kind of do stuff inside the vault. But yeah, no, I have a couple different ideas that I'd like to try and do. And we have some couple things that I think are going to come up that I think people are going to like. I mean, we've gotten such great reactions from people. I joined, play with these guys, Club Fallout, on Fallout 76, and they were like, "Oh, you do a fan film?" I was like, "Yeah, I did this fan film." They didn't know who I was or anything. And I was like, he's like, "Wait a minute, I've seen your movie." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?" Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, it's amazing."
It's really cool.
So
That's
it's kind of
awesome.
funny that you're playing with these guys. They don't have any idea, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I made this fan film. You guys should check it out." He was like, "I've seen that. That's pretty cool."
That's awesome. I found the Twitter of yours, I think like a week before the film came out.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We actually got it taken down the first time. Like,
Really?
Really?
I have no idea why. Like they said I was spamming or something. I don't know. And I never even. I had tweeted for a little bit, and we ran into like a production delay, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just kind of take it off. Or I was just not gonna tweet for a while, and then I tried to go back to it, and then it was like, oh, we took it down, and I was like, I don't know why you took it down.
Did you do a lot in
actually-
your first few hours?
I'm sorry.
Did you do a lot of posting within your first few hours of making the account?
No, not really. I didn't really post a lot. I kind of just followed a couple people, but no, nothing crazy. I mean, I had that account for probably months before that point.
Actually, I've had a similar thing happen where if you make an account and then do absolutely nothing with it and don't log in, they shut it down as if it was like a bot created account, even like if you did nothing
Really?
wrong. Yeah, like, and I don't know what the stipulations are for it, but I have noticed that if you make an account and then don't use it at all,
Yeah.
it becomes locked down. I think like even if you like tweet once or like upload a picture for like the profile, that's usually enough to keep it around. But I'm not sure how strict their new or current rules are.
Well, I tried to contact them. I was like, hey, I haven't posted anything in a while. They were like, I don't know who you are. You're like
Yeah,
some kind of bot
it
or
doesn't
whatever.
work.
It doesn't work. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just make
I
another one.
lost my Twitter that I had since I was in like the 7th grade, and I didn't like. I just wanted it because I had it for so long that I was like, oh, sometimes I want to go back and see what kind of an idiot I was 10 years ago, and I got locked out because I changed at my birthday. I changed my birth year, and they're
wow.
like, based on what you just put in when you created the account, you were not 14, and it was like, yeah, but I'm in my 20s now. Give me my account. So when I made my new account that I have now, I went and followed a bunch of people that I was already following, and after following 30 people in like under 30 minutes, it was like, you cannot follow anybody for another 48 hours till we verify that you're a real account.
Wow.
Yeah. So
They're pretty strict with bots.
I guess.
You have to be a good bot if you're going to be a bot on Twitter. You have to follow their rules.
The
Yeah, but I
Mothman
thought-
bot. I always like that guy on the.
Mothman bot? Mothman
Mothman
bot's
bot?
really good.
I saw one that said Mothman uses the Oxford comma.
Yeah.
I like shitpost bot.
Shitpost bot's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Too.
All right then, my good man. I think that's gonna be just about our time.
Okay.
Do you know who else is a good man?
Declan?
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Let Daniel plug himself.
Okay.
Where can the fine folks at home find you and your work?
You can go online, look for us on YouTube, our Fallout fan film. You can even look at my stuff. I actually have a website, my personal website. It's dtrout.com. You can see some of my other work that I've done. I've actually did a Spider-Man fan film as well.
Cool.
That I shot. Yeah, that was actually, I think, really well done. The director did a really good job with that. Nick Cannon and Becky Yatal did the directing for that. It was really good. It's an interesting idea because it's not Spider-Man, the typical like shooting webs out. It was a young woman who was about to jump off a ledge, and Spider-Man sees her and he tries to talk her down. And,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah, it was just a different, him being a hero, not using his powers, but him just being,
Being
Spider-Man,
a
Peter
heroic
Parker.
person.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot because
Yeah,
it's
really
not
cool.
thwippity thwap. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to make... I mean, another idea, too, is, like, you're never going to make him fighting Green Goblin, and, you're never going to do that right, if you're not in a big Hollywood film. So it was a good way to do it, to work within the constraints to really sell a good story. And the acting was really good, too, so that helps as well.
Cool.
Hey, Vince.
Yes.
Do you know who's just a stellar and sparkling figure in my life?
Who would that be?
It is the Honorable Shane Ivers.
Declan, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a conversation with Shane Ivers. He's doing very well.
I'm so happy to
He's
hear
a good
that.
man.
I mean, he's both my son and my husband, my sunspin.
Why do you gotta say shit to make it
And
weird? Why do you gotta?
if you want to get my
Why you
sunspin's
gotta do
music,
that? Why
you
you
can
gotta do
get
that?
Feather
Why you gotta do
Duster, our
I
intro
get we're from
track.
Pennsylvania, but why you gotta make it like that?
You can get that at www.silvermansounds.com/free music /
How do you think he's gonna feel when he hears this?
He's going to be overcome with joy. But Vince, where can they find
Hold on.
you?
Now I gotta think of a way to
on
put
Twitch?
father and boyfriend together. Because I don't want to say father friend because that just sounds like a stepdad.
I mean, they're basically, they can both go by the same thing, which is daddy.
I hate you. You're insufferable.
Where can they find the show on
If you want
Twitter,
to find the show
Vince?
on Twitter, you can find us on Twitter at Atomic Radio Hour. It's also our Instagram.
It's also our Instagram. Where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at _Boogans, all capitals. Yourself?
You can find me at Declan_Bean. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Be sure to drop a like, a subscribe. You can comment if you want. Hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified of our new videos.
We actually have a sale going on.
We have a sale
Yeah.
going on.
If you subscribe to our channel, which is free, you can then send a link to 2 friends, and they can also subscribe for free.
Yeah, and then you get to spread the podcasting
Yes.
wasteland joy.
Yes.
Like a dirty
Yes.
virus.
You can also find us on every streaming platform.
Every Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Castbox, all
Yes.
those places where you can get podcasts.
All of them. We have a Redbubble now. If you want to buy merch, you can get a logo on a sticker, a shirt, a mug, a pillow, a backed pack. You can get my rendition of A Baby Named Frank on
The most joyous of babies.
he's comes on over. I think we have a shower curtain of him,
We have a shower curtain. We got a
a
clock.
duvet,
A duvet.
and then we also have a sticker and a shirt and a bunch of other shit for I went to public school.
Yes. And a notebook. The public school notebook's
Yeah.
really good. I kind of want that one.
There is a link to that in the description, along with a link to our Twitch, which exists.
If you want, if you want to help see the show grow and want to join our community in a very intimate way, you can find us on Patreon. We have a bunch of different tiers that can really get you involved with us. And, yeah, you can check that out in the link in the description below.
We have some people we have
But-
to thank.
We have some people we have to thank that have gotten involved. We have some people to thank. We have the ever generous friendly companion
Cube.
What a guy. We have the magnificent Noah.
Noah.
And we have welcoming to the stage for the first
Hello
time,
and welcome. Thank you.
James
Hello
Stark.
and thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. You're helping make this show better.
I'm very tired.
And with that, Vince is
I
going to
have
go
a
to
headache.
bed. And you are going to listen to whatever we have planned after the show.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Good night, everybody.
See you later. Bye.
Diary of Diana King. That damn Dixon. He foiled our plot. Now I won't be able to show my face in the capital wasteland ever again. I might have to just travel west. I mean, I don't even know what I would do. I have a cousin in Dogtown, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make the journey on my own. Who knows? I just miss Rex.
Atomic Radio Hour.